we're going to give you a Tesla pricing update. There hasn't been anything that has changed from yesterday. I mean, yesterday there were some big discounts, $4,000 to $5,000 off across the board, but we feel like we should do an update to give you a frame of reference to see what are the prices between Model 3 and Model Y, and more of a comparison to see which Tesla model you should be buying right now. So we're going to compare them all and see which one is the best deal. Here is what we did. We took a look at the best deals, the lowest prices that are out there with the biggest discounts across the board for Model 3 and Model Y specifically, because I know a lot of you out there are interested in those type of vehicles. So we wanted to see what is the best deal, what's the best price, and compare them against each of the models between Model 3 and Model Y. And there was some surprising results across the board. And here's where they are. And you can actually access this spreadsheet along with the best deals, all the best deals that we found, $4,000 to $5,000 off, down below in the description. And I'll link it right there so you can take a look at it. And the cool thing with these is that these are prices that are adjusted with the Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description. So you can get that extra $1,000 to $2,000 off. And here it is. And so it's pretty interesting, but we got the Model 3 on the left side and we got the Model Y on the right side. I didn't include the standard range because I feel like at this point you really shouldn't consider that one. And the biggest thing, the one thing that I can piece from this is that if you're looking to buy a Model 3, do not buy a Model 3 long range real wheel drive. It just makes absolutely no sense at all, because you can find long range all wheel drives for essentially the same price. You can see right there, you can see it's the same price as a long range real wheel drive. So I know you'd rather have a bigger vehicle or the same side of vehicle, but a bigger all-wheel drive system, and also different interior, and also more sound system, better sound system, more speakers, and also a subwoofer as well. So you can see essentially the cheapest long-range rear-wheel drive that we could find in the country is $42,490, and the cheapest all-wheel drive is $42,740. So essentially what, $300 difference to get all-wheel drive plus everything else. And so you can see it really makes no sense at all to get a rear-wheel drive, and a long-range all-wheel drive is the best deal at the moment. Taking a look at this and then jumping up to performance, it does go up about $10,000. So I'm not sure I would find $10,000 in value by going up to a Model 3 performance, and I'm almost considering like maybe a long-range all-wheel drive is the way to go, especially because it's the biggest discounts right now. And I don't know, we'll see. And then going to the Model Y side, we've got long range rear wheel drive, then we got the long range all wheel drive, and also the performance. And this makes more sense, at least from the rear wheel drive to the all wheel drive, because that's a $3,000 difference, going from $35,490 up to $38,410. So $3,000 difference going from rear wheel drive to all wheel drive. But this is where it gets really interesting as well. Going from long range to performance, it's essentially about $1,000 to $1,500. So I would say all day, every day upgrade to a Model Y performance, especially when you can get these at these bigger discounted prices out there. Now, if you're someone that's trying to compare Model 3 versus Model Y, you can see some of the differences in this middle column. So going from Model 3 long range rear-wheel drive to a Model Y long range rear-wheel drive, you're going to pay about $1,500 more. Not bad at all, essentially, at that point. And really, it depends on your preference, size, if you want the latest and greatest, and things like that. Going from Model 3 long range to Model Y long range all-wheel drive, you're going to pay about $4,000 more, which is a little bit of a tough one for sure. And so I'm not sure you would find as much value in a bigger size vehicle, because it's not that much bigger than Model Y. It does ride a little bit higher, but it's also older tech. So a lot of pros and cons here. And I think I would lean towards a Model 3, the Highland long range all-wheel drive. I think I'm just leaning towards the Model 3 long range all-wheel drive across the board, because it is the best deal, best value, best sweet spot. And especially if you can get all the different incentives to line up, it makes the most sense. And if you're comparing performance to performance, this is where everything gets flipped, because a Model Y Performance is $4,500 cheaper than a Model 3 Performance. So if you're brand new to this, if you've never had a Tesla before and you're just jumping into this, but you know you 1000% want a performance, please go get a Model Y Performance, because it is the best deal hands down across the board, compared, or it's a better deal than the Model 3 Performance. And I'd rather you get the better deal, because it's almost $4,500 difference going from a Model Y Performance down to a Model 3 Performance. So it makes a lot of sense. If you want to see which vehicles I reference, it's all down here as well, right underneath it. So you can take a look at it. And also in this same spreadsheet, in this tab before it, you can see the best deals that we found across the country, anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 to $6,000 off Model 3s and Model Ys. And the best thing with this is that it's before the Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description. So you can get that extra $1,000 to $2,000 off. But I would say hands down, it is pretty interesting to see that a long range all-wheel drive, I think, is my vote. It's the best value. If you're brand new to Tesla, I would say it's one of the better deals as well at the moment, because you can lease them for pretty good lease rates as well. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let us know what your thoughts on it. Also, on top of that, in case you missed it, there's a new Apple update where you can get the Tesla app on your Apple Watch. So if you got an Apple Watch, now you can also download the phone key as well to your Apple Watch. So you don't even need your phone when you're walking up to the car. You can just bring your Apple Watch, which is pretty nice and pretty slick, because now that it's got it integrated, it makes it a very nice add-on. And I would say if you're buying a Tesla, definitely try and get an Apple Watch, because it will make your life a ton more easier for sure.